So 3 wide to decide second. Brad Keselowski is all alone in first. And from Pocono to Iowa, Brad Keselowski will win.
Thanks for the accomplishment, guys. Nice job.
Yes, indeed. NASCAR and Indy on this weekend. Of course, NASCAR will be on TSN later on this afternoon and on 1050 this radio station. And of course, it's the GoBowling.com 400 Pocono Raceway. And of course, its location, everyone knows where it is Long Pond. Long Pond. Where is that? Anyway, we'll find out from Tim Hauraney, who's joined us in studio, ex-champ driver. Tim, Pocono, quite a famous raceway. I never realised it was in Long Pond.
Yeah, Pocono's actually a really neat racetrack. It's called the Tricky Triangle because it's not like a typical oval where they have basically an oval has 4 corners, really, or some of them, like, you go to Indianapolis and it's just Indianapolis is kind of like 4 corners as well. You go to somewhere like Daytona where it's just 2 long sweeping bends. Where Pocono, it has 2 long sweeping bends, and then it kind of comes up to a tip like a triangle. And so a lot of drivers have to like downshift and try and find the proper amount of grip when
challenging.
When cornering. So it's not your typical type of oval for drivers to drive on, especially for NASCAR drivers. So this thing is it's not new to them. They've been there before, obviously, but it plays a huge challenge in trying to get the speed and the grip out of the cars.
Yeah, and defending champion is Casey Kane, who won it there last time. But the starting grid's quite interesting. Of course, Larson there on the top of the grid.
Yeah, his first career Sprint Cup pole, and also another thing for him is he's looking for his first career Sprint Cup win. So this is kind of important for him. He's going to have to try and hold on and manage the race and to see how things turn out. If crashes happen, the team has to manage yellow flags and pit stops for him. Another big thing for that is Jeff Gordon. He's starting 5th, and he's won 6. He has 6 wins in Pocono, and he's coming off his 90th career win there last weekend at Indianapolis.
He's racing good this year, isn't he?
Yeah, he really wants this championship bad. he's driving. The great thing about Jeff Gordon, and we said this before on the show, is basically his experience. And his experience really plays huge dividends in the long run when you're trying to chase a championship. And this year, he's just been outstanding. He's driving so well.
Let's have a look at some of the other players on the grid. Kyle Busch in 7th place. He's up there. I mean, any surprises? Danica Patrick in 10th position?
Yeah, I think Danica's a surprise. I think she's a surprise for a lot of the guys who are out there, racing. They expect her to be mid-pack. Where here she's up in the top 10. So she can easily come home with a victory as well, and it would be her first NASCAR Sprint Cup victory, which would be great for her in her career. Another one is Dale Jr. He's starting 9th, and of course Jimmy Johnson. He's
17th.
Way back in the field. But as we all know, Jimmy Johnson, same as Jeff Gordon, has a ton of experience and can easily come away with the top 5 finish.
Which gets back, Tim, to the type of course you've described. How fast can these cars do on that course, especially for the experienced ones?
Well, the speed isn't huge at Pocono, because the thing with Pocono is it's not like a super speedway where the banking is really high and you can gain a lot of speed and carry a lot of speed going through some of the banking. Here it's more of trying to find the grip coming out of the corners, where that's where the power gets laid down, and that's where you're going to gain your speed.
Now, is that a sliding grip in a sense that it's not too fierce that it's holding the car, but it's away? I mean, you've had a lot of experience of this. Is when you want to glide down with it.
Exactly. So what you're doing is, for a lot of these guys, is you're not chasing time. Even though time is important, you're chasing speed, and speed comes from grip. And a type of track like Pocono is when you come and enter the banking, the car kind of gets sucked in and you feel the grip. And on the exit, that's where it all kind of occurs for a Sprint Cup car, is when you start to lay the power down and the car grips and hooks up and it slides out to the wall. And it's kind of like, how far can you let the car slide out to the wall, because that is where the speed is going to be gained. because it's almost like straight line, right? The faster you can get the car into a straighter line, the faster you're going to go and the more speed you're going to carry.
So we'll see a few smacks today, won't we?
Probably it's Sprint Cup.
That's why I watch NASCAR. But hey, I tell you what, I want to finish off with the lineup. I was really surprised to see Ambrose really down at the end of the pack. What happened there?
I'm not too sure with Marcus Ambrose. He's been having an up and down year, but he really surprised me at the start of the year. He came out on fire. I didn't really expect him to be as good as he has been for the start of the season, but lately he's been starting to fall back a bit. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the grind of the season is starting to wear on him, because NASCAR is a long season. Like, they start in the winter months, and then they keep going all the way through. Like that, it's a really tough grind for a lot of these guys.
Righty, Jeff Gordon to win.
Oh boy,
who are you picking?
Yeah, I would stick with Kyle Larson. He's a hungry driver right now. He needs this victory.
And he was doing some speeds too at the track, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, they were flying.
Some big ones, 189. Let's go to the Indy lineup, and of course it's the Indy race, and of course we're back on the track, and of course it's a gentleman called Newgarden who's qualified second.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Well, Joseph Newgarden's been in the series for a few years. He races for Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing. Very good driver. Just hasn't had that break to kind of come through. With the rain yesterday in qualifying, it was a perfect opportunity for him to slot his car up in the number 2 spot. Big thing for him is he's never won an IndyCar race, and he's been in IndyCar for a few years, guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out throughout the race, because he's going to want this.
Well, then that means he has some good sponsors, or still maintains good sponsors, because when you're not winning, it's a very costly sport.
He's a very marketable driver. He knows how to handle the press. He's good with PR, and he's good. He's very media savvy, and when you're dealing with that kind of stuff, obviously he's a good driver. But all of these guys who are in there are great drivers. Like, the field is separated by a second and a half from first place to 23rd place just in practice. So for that's very competitive. Those are competitive times. So for him to even be in that range, he's automatically a good driver. Just
Plus,
hasn't
it was
got that
raining
break
too.
And do you know what? I have that experience when the cops need to talk to me on the 401. That second delay,
What?
which I maintain.
Wait, you can't get out of the car?
Oh, no, they can't. They're trying to see if I'm on my cell or drinking coffee, which I neither do.
Hey, listen, I've seen you try to hop into a racing car through the window.
That was
seen you do
was
that.
years ago. Though. I've lost a lot of weight since.
We just got to practice.
I couldn't get in the 2000 series. Never mind the Indy car.
Anyway, get back to Indy before we go, and of course the rain affected it, but a lot of the good, top drivers are back in the field, and I just thinking who was right at the back is Ryan Briscoe, and just quickly looking at my Scott Dixon.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, there's another big one too. Helio Castroneves qualifies back. He's qualified back in 15th. And now if you look at a guy like Ryan Hunter-Reay, who's sitting in 4th in the championship, he's qualified really well. He's up to 5th. So the thing with Ryan Hunter-Reay is if he can get a top 3 finish, and if you have a guy like Power and Castroneves who struggle in the race and fall back, this is perfect for Ryan Hunter-Reay. With only a handful of races remaining, he could easily win this championship. And he's sitting in 4th.
And he's a nice guy.
That's how tight it is.
He's a nice guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
guy.
Ryan Hunter-Reay's he's a great guy. A former champion also, so he knows how to get it done. He knows how to win a championship. And the thing with him is, once he gets into that prime seating position, he's going to be... This is going to be a battle, and it's going to come down to the very last race to who's going to win this championship between the top 4 drivers.
Yeah.
I've never seen it this close
Been
before.
a close one, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been amazing.
And look at Graham from his dad, actually, Graham Rahal Racing. He's up in 7th position, and that's Rahal Racing is partnered with David Letterman.
Yeah, that partnership's been going on for quite some time, but I think the thing with David Letterman is he got his big break for being on air. He got it through IndyCar when he was doing some coverage for the Indianapolis 500 a long time ago. So
Man.
he's got a lot of strong ties with open wheel racing.
Yeah, I wasn't born then.
And he's very good at doing night driving. Oh, you get it? No, because his show's nighttime. Okay, we'll wrap it on that.
Well, on that, thank you very much, Peter, and thanks for being in the studio. And good night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Say good
Tim.
night, Dick.
We'll talk to you again soon. Who do you think's going to win the Indy quickly?
I would have to put my money on either Hunter Ray or Newgarden.
Rightio, we'll see. We'll hold you to it.
All right.
Anyway,
well, thanks very
take
much,
a short
guys.
break. That was Tim Hauraney, our ex-champ driver and also our expert on everything on motorsports.
Including coffees as well.